Boots and pants and 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 STRIXHAVEN, School of Mages. That's right. We're going to get into it. Don't ask me why I'm wearing this. I just thought it was really comical. There was a time I could fit into this vest. Okay. Doesn't work anymore, though. Anyway, STRIXHAVEN, School of Mages. Are you guys ready for this? We got some nasty little Planeswalkers afoot here. Starting off with number 1, Professor Onyx. You know, I had a cat once. I had a cat once named Onyx, but this is Professor Onyx, better known as Liliana. And she's wearing a little corset there, looking pretty hot, Liliana. She almost looks like a Mary Poppins kind of Liliana, huh? All right, anyway, without talking too much more flattery about this beautiful young lady, 6-drop Lily. Magecraft. What is Magecraft? Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, each opponent loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life. We've seen this before, my friends. It's kind of like Gutter Snipe. Kind of. Okay. Except for the lose 2, gain 2. You know, your opponent's losing 2, taking 2 damage, not losing 2 life, 2 damage. Same with Ral, you know, you're able to deal 1 damage, kind of like a storm effect, because anytime you're casting that instant or sorcery, it's happening. But also when there's a copy, this card's verbatim, just like another card out there. But yeah, really, really neat, at least with that Metalcraft, okay, or not Metalcraft, Magecraft, Metalcraft. Metalcraft is something entirely different, guys. Okay, from a whole nother set and a whole nother era of Magic. We're not going to get into Scars of Mirrodin right now or anything else, even further back than that. Okay, but so +1, you lose 1 life. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put 1 of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. Let me back it up so we can at least see the card a little bigger. That's legit. You know, it's allowing you to find something. Top 3 cards is pretty cool, and you're also being able to interact with your graveyard, or at least get things into your graveyard. So a deck that has a strategy probably wants to play in the graveyard with this one. -3, each opponent sacrifices a creature with the greatest power among creatures that player controls. That's each opponent. That's good. That doesn't say like each player or something, you know. But each opponent sacrifices a creature, okay, with the greatest power among creatures that player controls. Not bad. -8, which is terrifying. Each opponent may discard a card. If they don't, they lose 3 life. Repeat this process 6 more times. I mean, that's insane. Repeat that process 6 more times. Kind of like a Torment of Hailfire. It does some similar stuff. I think it's almost the exact same as the Torment of Hailfire right there. Yeah, that's a brutal one, man. So that could most likely close out a game on its own. So this card, what you could do with it, you know, and if you've been thinking like Commander at least, you know, or maybe even Legacy and whatnot, you got Dark Ritual, you got Cabal Ritual, you want to ramp up, you want to Storm. You know, Storm, you just keep on being able to cast instants and sorceries and getting the mana to do so and just going off on your opponent. And then just rack up the damage from that Magecraft. And also with Magecraft, I don't think all Magecraft is going to be your opponent loses 2 life, you gain 2 life kind of thing for each instant sorcery. I think it will be more along the lines of something to do with maybe the copy an instant and sorcery part of the card, maybe. But not as far as like the lose 2 life, gain 2 life. Maybe there'll be something else involved there. But yeah, you can ramp up with stuff like Dark Ritual, Cabal Ritual, and other things. And also Bolas the Citadel. And also I'm going to be announcing who's taking home that beautiful card today as well. That's right, the Lotus Bloom. Oh, boom! We're going to be talking about that in a second. Which is also pretty sweet. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. It's going to be fun and historic, you know. You may play the top card of your library if you cast a spell this way. Pay life equal to the converted mana cost. But if you're playing instants and sorceries, you're gaining life off those instants and sorceries. So it's helping you with the Bolas' Citadel. you know, so you can go off that way. Pretty neat, man. I really am looking forward to playing with Professor Onyx, better known as Liliana. I can tell you that much. I'm making sure. Okay, I thought I wasn't recording. But next we have a card that I find absolutely, I can't say absolutely busted, okay, but it is in those colors, okay? We are talking Cassandra Enigma Sage. I want to call her Cassandra Enigma Sigma. I don't know why. Cassandra Enigma Sigma. I like that. It's pretty legit. I like the art on this one too, mostly because she has that beautiful red flowing hair. Lord have mercy. Legendary Planeswalker Cassandra, one with the owls. Illuminati confirmed. +2, you get that Scry 1. That's kind of basic. But before we get to that, each other Planeswalker you control has the loyalty abilities of Cassandra Enigma Sigma. What? Do you realize what that means? Each other Planeswalker you control has the loyalty abilities of Cassandra Enigma Sigma, which means stuff like Narset Parter of Veils, which you can only -2. Now you have +2. You can, you know, keep your Narset Parter of Veils on the battlefield and continue to take 4 cards of your, look at the top 4 cards of your library, reveal a card, non-creature card, and put that card into your hand. You can continue to do that now if you have out Cassandra Enigma Sigma. They should have called her Cassandra Enigma Sigma. Oh my god, I love that name. Yeah, that's brutal, man. Narset Parter of Veils appears in just about every single format there is. So, you know, besides, you know, it's rotated out of standard already. Then you got something like Teferi, Master of Time, to help you get to that taking 2 extra turns just a tiny bit quicker because you're able to +2. That +2 is pretty legit. You know, not too shabby. What else? Garrick, Cursed Huntsman, came to mind right away. That was the very first one. When I saw that, I'm like, you know, he struggles with putting counters on himself. You know, the wolves are cool. Your opponent does have to block them, though. You know, or they have to take damage. They have to die or something in order for those to trigger over to your Garrick. You know, and sometimes it doesn't always work that way. So this is a great way, just, you know, with Cassandra Enigma Sigma, just to go ahead and get those counters onto Garrick. Because now you can just +2, boom, now you're at 7. The turn after that, -6, you're going to get your emblem pretty quick. And +3 and trample is devastating. That can close out a match. Then you got Davriel Rogue Shadow Mage, which you can just, you know, use that +2 again. Just scry 1. Target player discards a card. You can just continue every single turn. Your player is going to discard a card. Your opponent's going to discard a card. That's some value train, my friend, right there. If it's late game, it usually doesn't really matter a whole lot. But the fact that you're able to deal that 2 damage when they do, it's pretty cool. And then you got Ashiok Dream Renderer. Spells and abilities your opponent's control can't cause their controller to search their library. Cool. Cool. But the -1, target player puts up 4 cards. You're like milling your opponent. Milling your opponent, right? Getting stuff over there in exile. That is sick with Cassandra Enigma Sigma. It just works great because you can continuously do that. You +2, you scry 1, whatever, then you go back and you start minusing again, okay? And then it's -X. Create a 0/0 green and blue fractal? What is that? Fractal? Fractal creature token. Put X +1/+1 counters on it. All right. That's something. It's -8. Search your library for an instant or sorcery card that shares a color with this Planeswalker. Exile that card, then shuffle. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. So, like ultimatums, you know, anything that's really big, really powerful, that's going to smash your opponent's face. You know, and allow you just to go bonkers. You know, look, you know, put the top 5 cards of your library. You know, take a look at them. You know, play any of them right now for free. All that kind of stuff. Usually, that's going to be game ending. So its ultimate is pretty powerful. Her ultimate's pretty powerful. Let's get into what else my thoughts are on this. There's been other cards that are just completely broken. You know, in Magic's history recently. One, my friend, is none other than. That, of course, would be Uro. Titan of Nature's Wrath, just a very disturbingly good Planeswalker. I'm sorry, not Planeswalker. Legendary creature, Elder Giant, for that matter. Allowing you just to... We already know what the card does. I'm sorry, I'm not going to waste too much time. Also, though, Oko, Thief of Crowns. These two cards were just bonkers. This is the Planeswalker. I meant to show this one first. That's why I probably messed up there. Banned and banned, you know, and for good reason. One ramps, gets card draw, gains life, all that good stuff, accelerates your lands and all that. And then this guy just makes anything into a frickin' elk. Sad. But just phenomenal cards overall. Just so happens, Cassandra is that 3 as well. The only problem right now in Standard is there's not a whole lot of Planeswalkers. I would say Cassandra will be a lot more fun like in Historic or other formats, you know, where you can really benefit from her abilities and what have you. You need other Planeswalkers. You can't just splash this into your deck and be like, cool, man, I'm going to scribe one and create a token. It's not going to work out for you that well. So, yeah, very, very neat. Very interesting cards right now, I should say. And the hype is real, man. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to play with Teferi with her. Yeah, even Gabrielle. I mean, depending on what colors you can mix and all that, you know. But this is Strixhaven, baby. I got some more stuff for you. Are you ready? Let's show you the other spoilers from Strixhaven. There you go. So here's what we have so far. What are your thoughts with the Professor Onyx? Usually it has, like, the Planeswalker's name in it, you know. Usually it'll say, like, this is Cassandra, Enigma Sigma, you know. But it doesn't say that. So it's kind of interesting. It doesn't say Liliana, but Onyx was, I guess, maybe the first name Liliana had, maybe. Anyone want to do some research, by all means, go ahead. I'm only one man, I swear. Lorehold Command, Prismari Command, these are all instants and stuff that are going to be fun to play, along with our new Enigma Sigma here. Yeah, man. This is going to be a fun set. It's more focused on sages and, like, wizard stuff. Like your Harry Potters and whatnot, you know. We don't got guilds. We got cliques of wizards, okay? So, very, very interesting. That's all she wrote, man. I hope you guys enjoy. I'm going to announce who's taking home this beautiful Lotus Bloom right now. I just went through right now and picked the winner. So, like, it took me a little bit of time, but I'm back. I thought this was funny. Luke Carrolls, congratulations, my friend. You're going to be taking this one home. mossbergswerve@gmail.com. Make sure you email me with your full name and address so I can get this out to you also with what you won, which is a Lotus Bloom. And it's amazing. Christopher Rush, old school art, time-shifted foil. Beautiful, beautiful artifact, man. It is the Buy a Box promo. He said, any sliver is it for me, and I'm getting the band back together. I don't know why I thought I'm getting the band back together. It was funny, though. I like that little inclusion there. But, yeah, any sliver for him. I asked us what card are you looking forward to the most in pulling, and he seemed like a pretty humble cat. So I'm like, all right, it could be a dog. I don't know. Maybe a iguana. I don't know. But, yeah, email me for sure, man. Congrats. That about, concludes today's broadcast video. If you guys did enjoy, by all means, hit the like, thumbs up. It helps. It does. All right, I'm done rambling. This is kind of too far. How long am I in? 13 minutes. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, guys. I appreciate you. Love you. Do something kind for someone, And if you can't do something kind for someone, then at least bite your tongue. Do me that solid. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Joey Moss, Bad Boy MTG. Skadoosh.